Although his journey to compete in basketball took him away from his home base, Canaan Chatman always planned to return to Portland. The Benson High School graduate, who helped lead his prep team to the 1990 OSAA State Championship, transferred to the University of Portland, having spent 1990 through 1992 at Oregon State and the 1992-93 academic year at Portland Community College. He arrived on campus in August of 1993, and it took little time for him to get the flow of the men's basketball program. In his first season with the Pilots, the 6'8 forward showed an uncanny ability to get to the rim as he led the team in rebounding, averaging 8.1 per game, and was second in scoring at 16.4 points per game. A first-team All-West Coast Conference selection in 1994, Canaan was also named the Portland team MVP. In his second season as a Pilot, Canaan helped lead the team to a 21-win season, a second-place finish in the West Coast Conference regular season standings, and the Pilots' first ever appearance in the WCC Tournament Championship game, as he averaged a team-leading 18.3 points and 6.8 rebounds per game. In 2 seasons, he logged a team-high 10 double-doubles in points and rebounds. His accomplishments during the 1994-95 season earned him first-team All-Conference honors and was selected to the WCC All-Tournament team. Selected the Pilots team MVP and University's Male Athlete of the Year in 1995, Canaan became the fastest player in UP history to reach the 1,000-point threshold, scoring 1,021 points in just 59 games, and his 17.3 points per game ranks 5th all-time for the Pilots. Graduating with a double major in sociology and communications, Canaan played professionally on the international stage from 1995 through 2001 in Japan, Poland, Dubai, Switzerland, Turkey, Israel, and Australia. Following his professional career, Canaan returned to Portland and has immersed himself in coaching basketball at the youth and collegiate level. He has also created a foundation that provides academic and social support to assist Portland inner-city student athletes in their career pursuits.
Our Portland native is now a Portland Hall of Famer. Please welcome to the stage Canaan Chatman.
Congratulations, Canaan.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Why don't you tell us about your journey and how you ended up here on the Bluff at University of Portland?
Ultimately, I would say, son of the city. So I'm from the town, Northeast Portland kid. The journey really started, I was born in Chicago. My mom packed us up in '79, moved us out here because her father stayed out here, looking to do something a little bit different, get me out the south side of Chicago. From there, it was just me and her. My grandmother was in Chicago, we moved here, didn't know anybody, and it kind of just started my trek. During that time, a lot of gang violence and stuff that was going on or whatever, so my mom had to make sure that I took care of everything academically if I wanted to stay. During that time, it was more breakdancing than playing hoop. So I was into popping and breaking more than I was into playing sports, but she had to make sure that I was doing a little bit of everything or I couldn't do anything. And so from that, fast forward, went to Vernon Elementary, went to Whitaker Middle School, went to Benson High School, went to Oregon State originally, straight out. Spent 2 years at Oregon State, wound up transferring to PCC, played for Coach Dixon, Donald Dixon at PCC, and that's kind of when my game kind of changed, went to a different level. When I left Oregon State, I knew that I wanted to go stay home because it was most important to me to play in Portland so my mom and my sister could see me play. And Marshall Haskins, that was one of my coaches, one of my mentors growing up, kind of was like a father to me growing up, but now that I'm grown, he's only 10 years older than me, so more like a big brother, uncle. So it was really relationships. Coach Steele was a coach. Larry Steele was a coach at the time. When I was in high school, it was funny because Coach Steele would come to all of our games and follow us. Nobody had any interest in going to University of Portland. It was like, didn't even open University of Portland letters. And it was no knock on UOP. It was just really, from where I come from, equating success is like really just kind of getting off the block. You know, you really don't know how big the world is until you really kind of get out of here. So everybody just kind of wanted to get away. And even Corvallis or Eugene was really kind of getting off the block. And so from that point, wound up coming back, knew that I wanted to go to University of Portland because we was going to build something. Marshall was going to join the staff with Larry Steele. And at that time, myself, Ray Ross, Denmark Reed, all agreed that we were going to go to the University of Portland and kind of turn it around, put Portland on the map, and just kind of stay home and do it. And so that's really what ultimately brought me here.
Well, and you did. You ended up turning it around in a hurry, and you individually became the fastest player to score 1,000 points in school history in just 2 years, a remarkable feat. What are some of your memories from those 2 years here on the Bluff, or your fondest memories?
I mean, the basketball kind of speaks for itself, obviously number-wise, but I would say the fondest thing is just the memories and the relationships. Even in what we have going on here, I got 3 tables that's going right now, and one is my family. All of it's my family, but one is my mom, my grandmother, my wife that's been with me. We've been together since '89. I was a senior in high school. She was a junior. So, I mean, it's like 34 years or something we've been together. So that's a huge piece. They ain't all been good, but, you know, we're working. But that's the foundation, and so they kind of planted the seed in regards to what the expectation was for me as a man. Then the second piece I would think would kind of be my group, which is really another table, just teammates, coaches, mentors, people who've helped me grow, kind of evolve, trying to find myself even when the ball stopped bouncing. And I attribute a lot of my success to that because sometimes you kind of depict it as just an athlete and not really a man, and understanding that when you spend a lot of time being overseas too, I mean, it's kind of a learning curve in that range in regards to do a job and it being more so of what you do than versus who you are. I would say the last piece will probably be my Anderson family. I work for Anderson Construction, Business Development, and so that's kind of, I would say, I won't say the last chapter, but that's the chapter that I'm currently in right now because it's something totally different than what I was groomed in and what I evolved in, but kind of finding myself and knowing that there's more pieces to you than what you probably have already ran into, so trying to consistently grow.
You mentioned mentorship, and that's been a big part of your adult life in terms of giving back to the Portland basketball community, a very important community to you. Talk about what you've done and how you've kind of given back to that community.
I mean, just trying to figure it out. Always like worked for SEI and worked with kids and knew that there was always somebody there for us to kind of lean on. And I guess one of the mottos that I live on to this day is that a true measure of a man is not how well he lived, but how well others live because of him. So it's not how far I can go, but how far I can take others or whatever with me. So.
Any final thoughts, acknowledgments, or stories that you'd like to share?
We was talking about a few, but I don't think they're appropriate for Catholic University. But I guess the thing that I would say, first of all, just a credit to everybody and just appreciate it. 2 things that I would say. First is that just playing and being from home, it was always a big deal. Every game was big. I had community. So you can imagine being in your hometown and organization, let's just say something like a YMCA that might have 500, 600 kids or whatever. They used to plan trips based off our schedule. So I used to have Lil Evan and Ryan, some little fat twins on the court, grabbing my legs during layup line and all that stuff. But it was a burden that was kind of on me that was necessary to kind of push me because if I didn't play well, everybody knew about it and I was going to have to hear about it. But it also was inspiring too because we won, we played well, and it kind of went well. The last thing, and me and Sharif was talking about this, is that probably the proudest thing is that everybody I hosted signed. Like I'm batting 100%. I think I'm 12 for 12. Everybody that I hosted, which is really mostly a credit to the town because everything we did wasn't on campus. We was in the city, in the middle of the city or whatever, and everybody from me, Ray Ross, Jason Harris, Denmark originally, then I know Sharif, Dion, Chivo, then Jimmy Rainwater, Kyle Stonehouse. So I can go on and on, but everybody that I host wound up signing, so I kind of hang my hat on that.
Well, awesome, Canaan. We can't wait to have you back. Come to some games, bring your family. It's going to be a fun time. But on behalf of the University of Portland Hall of Fame Committee and Athletic Department, it's our honor to officially induct you into the UP Athletics Hall of Fame. Congrats.
Right on. Appreciate it. Right on, bro. Yep.